Blessings, world. I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Fresh Perspective, where we give you a fresh take on today's hot topics. And right now, one of the hottest topics going on in the world, in the sports world, on Saturday, man, NBA free agents agreed to deals totaling over 1 billion in 24 hours, man. So the panel has to speak about this. I'm your host, Irvin Hawkins, and I'd like to introduce the young and talented host of another Chappelle show, co-host of Homage Speaks, Mr. Courtney Chappelle. How you feeling?
What's up, y'all? Let's do it. We've been away a little while, but we here.
Yeah, I would like to get some of this 1 billion that the NBA is handing out. Well, speaking of 1 billion, the man with the $1 billion takes, the great orator and tactician, my friend and yours, Mr. DB, Mr. D Burks. How you doing?
Don't be complaining about that money, man. Y'all pay Otto Porter. So
Man, this is a family show, but shots is fired very early. This should be a very, very hot debate, man. How do y'all feel about this money, man? Richard Sherman just said something on the red carpet. He was talking about NFL players and how they need to be willing to strike, man, and get the same kind of bread. How do y'all feel about what just transpired in the NBA? Is it a good thing, or is this going to hurt the league eventually?
DB, you could go.
well, you know how I feel about it. I'm not afraid or opposed to anybody getting their bread, but I think on the NBA level, it's going to end up hurting them more than it's going to help them because they're going to ultimately give the players control of the league, and I don't think the NBA is ready for that. With the NFL is pretty much saying that the owners and the commissioner run our league. You either gonna get down or you're gonna lay down. Richard Sherman does make some compelling arguments and bring up some good facts, but he better understand that they do an NFL draft every year and they bring in hot talent every year. It's somebody who is willing to pay for that 1.2 million or that 3.2 million where you feel like you're being underpaid. They just happy to play the game, and that's what he got to understand.
Yeah, this is true, but you made a statement earlier when you talked about the NFL is probably one of the hardest games on your body. The money. James Harden walked away. They called it a supermax extension,
Yeah.
where in totality he's guaranteed $227 million. I
Well, I think
mean,
the problem. I think one of the main problems with the NFL, what's going on right now, is that they don't guarantee the contracts. The way they have constructed the contracts, they either put a lot of the money in the front, or they give you a bulk up front, and then they put the rest of the big money in the back, knowing that the probability you making it to the end of the contract won't happen. That's something that the players usually have to work out and get under control. They got to get the right people in the position to make
well,
these things
I'm
happen.
so, well, another thing Richard Sherman said, he talked about, they need to reevaluate how they look at deals. 2 and 3 year deals, something that NFL players don't like to take. How would you feel? I mean, you got family in the NFL. How would you feel if your cousin said, "All right, I'm inking a 2 year deal, but it's fully guaranteed"?
I think the name of the game is to guarantee money. I mean, you're talking about a guy right now. My cousin is on a 1 year deal right now.
Wow.
Um, so it just depends on the player and the situation. I think what the NFL will have to do is to reevaluate the value of each position because they only value one position. In basketball, it's more so the value of the player, not the individual position. We all know the quarterback position is the one that's going to make the most of the money. Everybody else, we'll give you what we can.
Mm. Good point. Good point. Courtney Chappelle, man, you kind of quiet. Get some. Is this these $200 million contracts? Is this going to be a trend, or was it just going to two special players?
Oh no, it's gonna be a trend. They're gonna get their money. Can't be mad at them to get their money. The owners get their money. Everybody make their money. The owners get their billions and TV and all of that. I'm not mad at the players. I'm not mad at specific players getting their money. I feel like there are GMs out here that's giving. They're giving outrageous amounts of money to people that ain't worth it. Like they're no longer making them prove anything. You don't have to be an all-star. You don't got to be anything to get money. No offense to Contavious Caldwell Pope, but he's done nothing $10 million in a year. But hey, get paid, young boy, get paid. I can't knock it. I'm just saying you don't got to be anything to get a big deal at this point. Like there's no goal set. You don't got to come in here. You could just basically run out your checks and max the years and maximize team's position. NFL wise, hey man, small business. They better get on their grind. They went to school. They forced them to go to school for 3 years in college football. What y'all was doing for 3 years? Y'all ain't take no classes. Y'all ain't get business sound or financially sound. And learn how to structure you some business deals, some endorsements, or get you some investments out there. Do something. Because you need to guarantee that money. You know it ain't guaranteed. You know you're not gonna get it on the back end. So why play?
Well, you bring up a good point. You bring up a good point. I mean, do you feel like the NFL players need to strike, like Richard Sherman said?
You could try it if everybody gonna stand behind it. But again, everybody ain't made that money that y'all made. So can everybody afford that strike? Is there some big businesses or some people y'all can get behind y'all that's willing to help them people that ain't got that bread? That ain't got that type of money to take it. You could strike, but why strike? Y'all just did a players union and y'all let them give y'all what y'all wanted. Y'all telling me y'all didn't know 3-4 years ago, however long ago, when y'all had to make a decision on this new players contract, y'all didn't know that y'all needed guaranteed money. Y'all didn't know that football was dangerous. How many years did it take you to know that?
Okay. So basically, NFL players need to step up and do better business. But I feel like that's what Richard is saying.
I would tell you one thing, Hulk, just to get back in there while I'm thinking about it before I forget the thought. I think one of the main issues too with the two sports is that one's a global international game and one is pretty much just a national game. NBA is marketed and produced everywhere. Everybody can go outside and pick up a ball. That's why it's love. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Everybody's not gonna go get a football and throw it up and go tackle you. Like everybody don't want to do that. So I'm with Courtney from the perspective of you play this game your whole life, get to this point. Basketball have other avenues. Basketball has other avenues. You can go overseas. You can do you can do Harlem Globetrotters. You can go be a professional basketball player more so than you can go be a professional football player. You got the Canadian League. You got Canada.
You got the big three.
Look, big three. I don't know what I love watching the big three. I love watching some of our old players compete. I think that thing is going to be something huge in a couple of years. Watch what I tell you.
Hey, my man Mahmoud was cooking the other day. I'm sorry, but
that's what he do. I posted it already. Y'all better act like I told somebody years ago, probably about 3-4 years ago. I said, Steph Curry, we've seen that before. I know what it looked like. Mahmoud might don't shoot from the distance that Steph shoots, but as far as putting it in, oh man, that thing cash money.
Okay, all right. So finish your point. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, man, you good, man. I just think, and I don't know what Court think about that, but I think that's one of the main things that's going on with the two sports. One is a global game.
I think
one is a global game.
It's always
a national game.
It's always like it's not. It's always been like that. It's not going to get better. I think NFL players need to put that money in good places. I think they need to get financially sound. I think they need to start making names for themselves personally. They protect the shit. I don't see a lot of NFL players individually making names for themselves. There's too many avenues in this world. We got the internet. We got social media. You got endorsements. Your name ring bells. We out here. Them stats is all over. ESPN is buying and moving and doing this. They got to start making names. When you get that individual success, you need to take advantage of it.
This is true.
And doing what you got to do. Odell just signed a big Nike contract. But what I'm saying is, I hope he got residuals. I hope he got his own sneak out of it. Hope he got his own brand out of it. I hope he was smart business-wise, and he did what he had to do. Everybody taking these anybody deals, that's your. Don't get mad at them. They make a smart business. They tell you not to drink alcohol, but they sell beer. They playing the game. You need to play the game.
Smart business, man. What you got on one of those Triple B jerseys right there, man? I see the yellow and white.
Never in life it says Nike. You'll never Triple B anything.
He's going to get one. Wait.
He's a trash can.
Hey, what's the over and under on the Triple B? A community. Everybody subscribe. I want y'all think the over and under is a Triple B jersey or something. I say 6 months.
I say he's a trash can.
Okay, well, once again, world, y'all listening to Phresh Perspective, and we discussing this money that people are getting. So, time to bring it home, man. Is this a good thing, Courtney? What's your final perspective on this? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
More money for individuals who majority come from nothing is a great thing. I don't see why it feels so bad for billionaires to spend a little bit of money. They make billions. They're billionaires. It ain't like, listen, they want to cut down some of the money and they'll be complaining about this. Tell them to take some of that revenue money they make off these players' hard work, blood, sweat, and tears and invest it in the community. Tell them to rebuild the community. Tell them to help these kids out there that's struggling, that don't want to play sport, that want to go into other things. Until they start doing that and putting that money somewhere else, don't tell me about players making too much money because y'all make a whole lot of it.
Okay. It's strong words from Mr. Chappelle. D. Burtz, how do you feel about it? Is it more money, more problems? Or is this a good thing? Talk to me.
Hey, man, that more money, more problems only works in the music industry. In the athletics, the more money you get, the more responsibility you get to perform. The minute you don't perform, the minute you don't get the check. So with that being said, Richard Sherman is on to something, but I think it's a problem in his league. And like Courtney said earlier, more people are gonna have to really be able to sit down with their families, sit down and really understand that we got to take a stand and we got to sit down and we got to say we not playing. And it got to start with the man. They got to start with the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's. We not playing. We not selling it for this. And if it don't go that way, it ain't gonna happen.
Okay. And I guess last but not least, I agree with both of you guys, man. I love to see players getting paid. I love to see them, reaping the benefits of the hard work and everything. I believe these owners can afford it. If they paying James Harden $227, they can afford it. If they giving Steph $200, they can afford it. So I believe with the NFL, like you said, they didn't become the number one sport in this country.
No, they're the number one in the world.
By not. I'm the number one sport in the world by doing bad business, but I believe the players, they do got to step up and start getting better deals. Community who's watching this video, world, chime in, man. Leave a comment. What do you think? You think this is a good thing? You think it's more money, more problems? Thanks for tuning in to Phresh Perspective. Peace and blessings, world.